everyone, how are we today? Just doing a quick all signs reading today. We are going to be looking at what is challenging you at the moment or in May. Okay, so for some of you it may extend, throughout the whole month. For others of you it may be sort of a little bit more focused in on sort of right here, right now, or within the next couple of days. So take it as it resonates. As always, guys, make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that support. It really does help the channel grow and glow. Keep on shining those lights, guys. I do really appreciate every single one of you. So thank you all so much. And today we are going to be using the Mystic Martian Oracle deck. Okay, so it's been a while since I've used this particular deck. I do quite love it. And using the same deck as the other day, once again, the Herbs and Plants Lenormand. Okay, so the thing that's challenging you in May or at the moment. Okay, so what's challenging you? Your biggest challenge at the moment is our topic today. I do just want to mention, make sure you do keep an eye on the upcoming videos. We do have the Divine Feminine Energy video coming up in just a couple of days for Mother's Day here in Australia. We also have the Full Moon Shadow Work reading early next week. So the weekly readings will, once again be portioned differently instead of being, I'm still not 100% sure, to be honest. I may actually do those shadow work readings as the weekly readings this week. I'm just not 100% sure. I do have quite a lot of other commitments in my personal life, and as we all know, this channel is a passion project rather than a source of income. So we do need to, still keep our eye on reality when all comes down to it. So I am sorry, but we do what we have to do in this life, right? But starting off, as always, well, not as always, but starting off this week, we will be starting with Aries. Timestamps in the description box. So if you want to check out other placements or cross-watch somebody else's placements and see what's going on with them, why they're so challenged this month, all right, you're more than welcome to. But starting off there with our Aries. Okay. Aries, what's challenging you this month? What's challenging Aries this month? Biggest challenge Aries is facing in May, please. What's challenging Aries this May? We have the Alpha Centurions. Okay, so that's all about foresight, planning, strategy. So that's a bit of a challenge for you at the moment, Aries, thinking things through in a longer term sense. I feel as though for a lot of you, impulsiveness is a bit of a struggle at the moment, and you may be doing things sort of very snap decisions and things like that. So thinking ahead and planning ahead and making sure you are sort of a couple of steps ahead is kind of your biggest challenge this month. The need to actually slow down and think things out a little bit more. You do see the game of chess in this particular card, and so that's how you're sort of having to think of all your problems this month, rather than thinking of this problem. Think of the whole board, and if I solve this problem, what other problems is that going to create? What else that can I possibly solve by doing this or this? Thinking things through, planning ahead, basically. Aries, what's challenging Aries in May, please? What's challenging Aries in May? Challenges, okay. I love that the challenges card has come through as your challenge. Okay, so we have the Mountain there. That is the Capricorn card. Some of you may be, needing to plan a few steps ahead to out-strategize a Capricorn. I do feel as though for those of you where that is the case, this is a Capricorn in your work environment. It's kind of really needing to, plan it out. And it's kind of before you present this Capricorn with XYZ, you need to really make sure you've planned it all out, and because they're going to question you on every little nitty gritty detail. So make sure you've got all the answers ready to go. So that's just very specific for a couple of you there to do with the Capricorn at work. Overall, though, it does remind us that hard work, perseverance, determination are what achieves, and overcomes any obstacles, any blockages that you're facing at the moment. So for some of you, it's needing to plan out how to deal with delays and blockages within your own self at the moment. Planning ahead, okay, and planning your next move. We see the rider here, which, when we are looking at the game of chess, we do see this is, this is the castle, right? The mountain is like the castle where it only moves direct lines. It can block you up the whole line, the whole path, if you allow it to. So you need to, be prepared and prepare for very straight lines. It's very structured. The blockages that you're facing, they are very sort of structured. Whereas this is that little chess piece of the what do they call it? The knight, where it moves in an L shape. So you're having to sort of skirt around things differently to how you normally would. You're rather than tackling that mountain head on, you are needing to sort of adjust your path a little bit here and try to think of other ways around the mountain rather than tackling it head on. It does let us know that there is some news on the way when it comes to your thought processes, the way that you're thinking about things, your perspective. We have the clouds there. Okay, so it's really needing to, tackle your thoughts in a different kind of a way and come at things from a different perspective in order to find your way through these blockages, delays, obstacles, Aries. You're thinking about, if we're thinking in straight lines, we need to start thinking, in an L shape. All right. So we need to start, okay, hang on. I'm just going to step to the left one here, just so I can, look at this from a side-on view and a slightly different perspective, and consider alternate thought process here that I maybe haven't thought about because I've been so sort of stuck up in my own head trying to overthink everything that I'm not actually planning. I'm not actually strategizing. I'm just overthinking and stressing and getting anxious about it. So turning those thoughts, away from stress, which confuses you even more, and that anxiety, which confuses you even more, and turning it into planning, strategizing about what move am I going to make, because this horse, he comes in and makes moves. All right. This is you using your thoughts in a different kind of way on what moves we're going to make, what actions we're going to take in order to persevere, be determined, show that we're determined to get through anything that is, in our way, stuck in our way, blocking our way at the moment there, Aries. All right, so that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what is challenging Taurus in May? The biggest challenge that Taurus is facing in May. The Kabbalah, Tree of Life. Okay, so that's integration, life lessons, and emanation. So thinking about, are you actually emanating the version of yourself that you wish to? That seems to be your biggest challenge at the moment, is integrating all the things that you have learned. It kind of shows us that you're getting stuck in a past version of yourself here, Taurus, and you're not actually integrating all those things you've already learned and healed from and grown from. And you may be prone to acting in a way that is not in line with who you actually are now. You're acting in a way that you may have, automatically reacted to something, a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. Those sorts of, what's the word? I went to say preemptive, but that's not the right word. Those sorts of, just, I cannot think of the word now. It's just like a habit, those actions that are habits, just automatic responses. You're acting from those rather than, hang on, I actually know better than that now. I've actually grown and changed. That's not who I am anymore. I am, and needing to really challenge yourself and say, am I acting in a way that, emulates who I truly am now, how much I've grown, how much I've changed. So a little bit of, it's not that you need any self-growth or anything like that, Taurus. It's the fact that you just need to be it. You already are it, so it's time to actually start acting like that version of yourself rather than allowing yourself to fall back into, the trap of habit. Okay, Taurus, biggest challenge for Taurus this month. Biggest challenge for Taurus in May, please. Yeah, so we do see the ship here. All right, and so that generally is, travel, distance, a journey that's being undertaken, and realizing that you're further down the river than you realize that you are. You have traveled further than you realize, and it's kind of like you're still busy thinking about the last place that you visited rather than thinking about where you're going and where you currently are. Just a little bit stuck at the moment, I feel, but you're still moving forwards, and it's still part of the journey, but you're not allowing it to catch up with you, kind of thing. It's because of your emotions, for sure, Taurus. We have the moon there as well, which is a very emotionally sensitive card. And you're not realizing that you have actually distanced yourself more from those emotions that you're reacting from than what you actually realize that you have. So you're kind of, it's kind of like you're telling yourself that because, it's an instinct for you to be so reactive about a certain emotion that you don't stop and remember that, hang on, I'm not there anymore. I'm not at that past emotion anymore. I've grown and changed from that. So, the emotions that are surfacing for you are the past place that you have been at, the top of the river, and you're downstream now. You've come a lot further, especially emotionally here. It does seem as though you are just a little bit impulsive this month, I suppose, is a word to describe that, but just reactive, and reactive in a way that is an older version of yourself. It's not the truth of who you really are now. We also have the lily. Okay, so it's kind of reminding us that those vulnerabilities are there for a reason, that it's time to really sit down and assess why we're still reacting in those same ways, even though we now kind of know better, and really asking ourselves, like, if I want to make this newer version of myself a long-term change to my life, how do I change that reaction? And calling yourself out a little bit here, Taurus, when you do forget to emulate the version of yourself that you wish to be. So it's really about your focus a little bit here, and acting in the way that you want to be rather than the way that you have been. If that kind of makes sense. I hope that does make sense there. It's just part of the emotional journey to understanding oneself, I suppose, and moving towards the version of yourself that you wish to be longer term rather than the version of yourself that you have been in the past. Okay, Taurus. So a bit of a challenge there in all of that. I feel as though, straight away we are seeing a little bit of reactive energy from you this month as well. So just be wary of that. Okay. But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribed to the channel, and we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay. Gemini, what's going on for Gemini this month? What is challenging our Geminis this month? The biggest challenge that Gemini is facing this month. Ooh, fire element coming through here, Gemini. So obviously that would talk about Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energies as well. So there may be, for some of you, there may be some little bit of fire being stoked between yourself and an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius this month. And maybe they themselves are part of the biggest challenge that you're facing this month. but that does talk about a warrior. It's that warrior, that fearlessness and passion and desire, all sort of compounded into one. It's the energy of, it wouldn't burn so brightly if we didn't care so much. So I feel like for a lot of you here, Gemini, this is a reminder to you that, you're burning very brightly at the moment this month. You may be very prone to impulsive behavior, which I'm seeing across the board for everyone so far this month is impulsiveness. But it's that fire within you, that wanting to start a war, wanting to fight and defend your honor kind of thing. And it may be sort of making you a little bit reckless and fearless this month, okay? But it's all coming from your passion, and you wouldn't be, defending your honor if it didn't mean something to you. So, it's all about using that fire, that flame, that passion to move you into more positive energies. And, if you really are truly passionate about that, rather than, using that to fight and engage in a rough kind of way, to use that, to use that flame to create. Without flame, you cannot create, food, for example, right? You cannot turn something from a raw product into that beautiful cooked food that you want to eat without that flame. So, you can actually utilize flame as a tool, use your passion as a tool to spur you on, but trying to use it in a more positive way than, rather than, it is challenging you this month to use it in a kind of defend. I'm a warrior. I'm going to stand up for, whether it's yourself or others around you. I'm going to, fearlessly race head on into things. Maybe you think about that a little bit first, of how can I actually use this constructively, rather than, just racing in head first and burning everyone with my flame. Gemini. What's challenging Gemini this May? Biggest challenge for our Geminis this May, please. Definitely could be a person associated with this, definitely. So like I said, that would probably be an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius that you may be butting heads with a little bit this month, and it's sort of really stoking that defensive nature and whatnot in you, stressing you out. We have the mice coming through first. So for some of you, this is all being sort of spurred on from, quite literally for some of you, from somebody taking something from you. Okay, the mice sometimes do steal or eat away at you, or it's so it could be eating away at your energy in that sort of sense, but it could also be quite physical, where somebody maybe steals something from you this month, and it really kind of sets you off. So just be wary of that. But it does feel as though it's a lot of stress connected to that either way. But I do feel that for a majority of you, this is kind of that something niggling away at you, something that it's maybe already starting to niggle away at you, or has been already niggling away at you, that, oh, I hate it when this person does that. I hate it when they do that. And then they keep doing it. They keep doing it, and they keep doing it. And it just sort of eats away at you and eats away at you and eats away at you, until, all of a sudden, here's Gemini with the power of 1,000 suns going, stop it. And it starts a big drama, So just we do see the ship coming through as well. So, we are trying to travel away from this taking from us, is what we're sort of seeing. We're trying to move past it, but we are still very quick to set flame. Especially when, we have this masculine energy there as well. So I do feel as though that masculine energy is a bit of a smart aleck. He's someone very, doesn't necessarily mean that it's a male, of course, it's that masculine energy. Someone very dominant. So maybe that's what's eating away at you, is somebody keeps trying to push you and goad you, and create distance between yourself and something or someone, by just continually trying to control you and dominate you in some kind of a way. I am picking up on that very strongly. The masculine energy is a little bit of chaos and a little bit of war all on their own. And it's kind of like the closer that you get to this person, the more it eats away at you and eats away at you until it does sort of destruct. For some of you, this could actually be self-destructive energy there as well, and it I do feel for a couple of you, it may have to do with travel as well. There may be some aspect of travel, or a journey that needs to be undertaken, and that this person is sort of stressing you out. So it's kind of like that person sitting in the back seat saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And it's just niggling away at you and eating away at you, and it's kind of a bit like that. And then all of a sudden you turn the flames on and it's anger. So I'm kind of getting that coming through here as your biggest challenge. But ultimately it's something, yeah, just it's you I feel like you'll know what it is, and you'll know that that's your reaction is to, your impulsive reaction is to, just set fire to the world and burn it all down, and destructive energy, war like chaos kind of, warrior defend energy, but it's all coming from passion, because if you didn't care, you would be able to put it behind you and it wouldn't bother you. So there is something in there for you to sort of pay attention to, of like, why is this bothering me, and why can I why is this affecting me on my journey right now, it is kind of the question coming through with that. So yeah, just feels like it might be a bit of one of those months for you, Gemini. So sorry to say, but that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and we'll move on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, what is your biggest challenge in May? What's the biggest challenge Cancer is looking at here in May? What is challenging Cancer? I want to say right now, Cancer, I do feel as though whatever's challenging you, it's already begun to create a few issues, I feel. Cancer. Okay, so we have the greys, the tall greys coming through here. So you can kind of even see here, they're a little bit intimidating, a little bit scary, a little bit of fear comes through with the tall greys. Utilitarian, organized, and intimidating are the keywords for that card. So it is a little bit of an intimidating, scary kind of energy. So when we have that scary kind of energy, that intimidating energy, it shows us that there's a fear connected to this, and it's kind of like, for some of you, it's because things aren't where they're supposed to be. You're not organized in the way that you're supposed to be. Things aren't set in place the way that you want them to be here, Cancer. And that's why it's intimidating. There's this fear because, it feels like things are just too chaotic. They're not in their right place, and it's throwing you, kind of out of whack a little bit here. And it's very much like craving the structure and needing things done in a certain way, I feel, for you this month. I am getting here, experimentation is coming through as well. I don't know exactly what that's in regard to yet. Cancer, what's challenging Cancer in May, please? What is challenging Cancer in May? So I'm kind of like getting this energy of wanting everything in its little box, and needing everything to be safely in its little box, and that's why it's challenging you, because it's kind of not. It's not all, So we do see the anchor coming through first, which I feel like that's your energy of, wanting everything to be a little bit more reliable, to be able to depend, and to just, drop the anchor and just sit, chill, know exactly where I am, what comfortable, to be comfortable. But we need to remember that sometimes comfortability is stuck. All right. Sometimes when we drop that anchor, like this particular card here, look, it's on a beach with grass growing around it. It has not moved for a long time. An anchor in its true form needs to be able to be lifted back up once that storm has passed. Whereas you seem to be trying to keep yourself stuck a little bit here, because it's comfortable. That's like everything in its little box. Is I know exactly what to expect if everything's in its little box. If I've got everything organized and structured the way that I know and I'm used to, that's safe for me. That's comfortable for me, even though it may not be leading me to where I need to go. See, that seems to be the issue here, is that change. Okay, change is uncomfortable. And I feel like that's what's really challenging you the most this month, is things being a little bit, out of the comfort zone. Because here we have the rider coming on through, and the rider changes things up. The rider is actions being taken. It's like, instead of just laying there on the grass, instead of laying there on the beach, the rider wants to pick you up and carry you off into the sunset. It wants you to move forwards, wants you to take actions and allow change to occur, so you can ride off into the sunset. Here on the beach, you're never going to ride off into the sunset. You're waiting for the sunset to come to you, and that's not sort of happening the way that you want it to at the moment, and it's very uncomfortable. Yes. But that's why it's a challenge, because you do need to get out of your comfort zone a little bit here. And, and it's especially too, some of you, the comfort zone isn't what you want, and you know it. And you're like, oh, but better the devil I know kind of energy, that, oh, well, at least I understand how to deal with this crappy situation because this is what I'm used to. But it's just not good enough for you anymore. And that's why this rider's coming on in to, stir things up and change things up a little bit for you, bringing forth news of, oh, Cancer, there's change on the horizon. There's, it's trying to get you ready to pick yourself up and get ready to change and get out of that comfort zone a little bit, to have faith that there's a reason, that yes, there may be some, responsibilities and burdens, and it may be heavy to pick yourself up off the ground and get out of that comfort zone. But if you have faith that you're going in the right direction because you're going forwards, as long as you're moving forwards, Cancer, having faith that you are moving forwards, and that everything will work out how it's supposed to. It may be scary. It may be intimidating to not know what tomorrow brings, not know what that rider's stirring up and bringing into your life here. But this is part of your destiny. It's part of your destined path. And have faith that, the universe has got something in store for you one way or another. And it's time to kind of allow it, and rather than just be scared of it. I do feel as though for a lot of you, it's just the intimidation factor, the scare factor of change, is the biggest challenge for you this month. On the bottom of the deck, we've got the Stork, which does like to stir things up and get us moving into brand new energy. So just confirming that message for you there, Cancer. So whatever's going on, don't be afraid of the change. Yes, it's different. Yes, it's scary, but do you know what? Have faith that it's happening for a reason and that it will all work out how it's supposed to. Okay, Cancer? So you're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. Okay, Leo, what's the biggest challenge that Leo is facing in May? The challenges for Leo in May. What is challenging Leo in May, please? Two coming out for you, Leo. First, we have the air element coming through here. So hot air. Ooh, I feel like this is actually specifically an air sign, a person around you blowing hot air into you. If that kind of makes sense. They're blowing the wind up your bum. They're blowing hot air up your backside. Philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. But, I feel as though that's a little bit of a front. It doesn't necessarily feel like any of those keywords, to be honest. It does just feel like an air sign. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, someone with strong air sort of placement. So I'm kind of getting that this person feels a little bit, you know, you might even think of them as a bit airy, like they've got their head up in the clouds all the time. They're and I feel like they're a very confusing person to you, Leo. They're not straightforward, and that's why I'm sort of, they're blowing smoke up your bum, because they're like, whatever they're saying, it's not necessarily, they're not backing it up with their energy. They're not putting their whole self into it. You know, they're just saying things, kind of thing. Like, so it's kind of like needing to take this person's words like a cloud that they can like puff away at an instant. They're not solid. They're not, you know, they can be swept away. They're not solid. They're not, you know, they're not made of earth, and they're not made of water, and they're not made of fire. You know, they're airy energy. We also have the Anuke card. Controlling, drama, conflict of interest. There you go. That's why they came out together, because, you know, that's the hot air that this person, that's the truth behind the hot air. So whatever this person is saying to you, their words are wisp. Their words are mist that can be blown away, and underneath it, do you know why they're saying this? They're trying to control you. They're trying to create drama for you, and they're actually, there's a conflict of interest. So the conflict is, you know, that their words do not match their true intentions with what they're saying this month. It does feel as though they're blowing hot air up your butt. It's pretty clear, straightforward kind of message. It does seem to just be talking about somebody around you just saying something, but their words don't match their actions or their intentions, and they're, you know, maybe they're just trying to create drama. It could definitely be like gossip type energy. They're just trying to make you believe something is one way when really it's another. But let's have a look here. Leo. What's the challenges for Leo in May, please? And I do have the card of gossip, like the gossipy energy on the bottom of the deck here. So I dare say we hit the nail on the head with that one, that it probably definitely is a bit of gossipy rumors type energy that somebody is saying, you know, telling you these rumors, telling you this gossip, and it's really just to start some drama. They just want to sit back and watch the drama kind of thing. So just be wary of people's true intentions with what they're saying to you this month, Leo. We do have the tree coming through first, followed by the house. Okay, so you need to kind of use your wisdom, you know, really use your wisdom this month. Know that you are, you know, you are wiser than and more mature than this person seems to be, for sure. 100%. Being quite stable within your own growth and healing, that you've healed and grown, and you're quite stable and secure in that, that you are solid. You're solid. You're immovable. You know, a tree and a house, you can't really quite easily move those. You have to, you know, for both of them, you have to sort of dig them completely up to move them. So you're pretty immovable here, Leo. You do need to remember that this month, and rely on your family as well. You know, whether your family be, you know, actual family members, the people that you live with in your home, or whether it be friends, that sort of stuff. You know, relying on those, especially because there is a strong family tie with the tree and the house both there as well. There is definitely a strong family tie here. So really relying on the stability of that to sort of overcome this childlike energy that we're seeing from this person. So for some of you, this may actually even be a child, because it is coming through as a very childlike kind of energy. And who else starts drama for no particular reason? Children have a habit of, saying things that are not necessarily the whole truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth. Yeah. We give them a bit of an extra slide because they're children, but this person, whoever this person is, they are being a little bit immature with the way that they're coming towards you, and they're not, they're, it's kind of like they just don't know better, to be honest. They just don't know better, and they're just, you're more mature than this for sure, and you're solid and stable, Leo, so you can deal with this without any drama. Oh, don't mind me, I've pulled a muscle in my shoulder there. But yeah, that's what we have for you today, Leo. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, what is challenging you in May? What is the challenge Virgo is facing in May? Virgo, what's challenging you? Okay, so we have the starseed energy coming through here, Virgo. So this is some deep contemplation about oneself in a lot of ways here. It does talk about self, memories, and identity. Okay, so that's your biggest challenge this month, is there's just a shift happening within you, kind of, oh, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's self-doubt, but it's kind of in line with self-doubt a little bit here. It's questioning your identity and the identity that you have created for yourself, and then kind of questioning yourself as, hang on, but is this the truth? Is this really who I am? I'm sort of looking back through my memories here, and I'm seeing proof that the person that I am is not the person that I believe that I am. Very interesting energy, but we'll have a look here with the lenormand and see what it wants to. It's like a little. It's more along the lines of self-awareness rather than self-doubt, I suppose. Virgo, what's going on for Virgo? What's the challenge that Virgo is facing this month? But obviously it's coming through as a challenge, so you're finding it difficult to see the truth of oneself this month. We definitely see you looking through the memories quite a little bit here, because we have the tower coming through first, followed by the book. Okay, so the tower is looking back through, to what is the core, what is the foundation of who we really are. That's looking back through the past. How has our life built us to be this person that we are now? How does all the experiences and all the actions I've taken, how do all the prior chapters, kind of like if this is the book of your life, Virgo, you're sitting there looking back through the story of your life and trying to sort of see it from a different perspective, and it's just kind of, I'm kind of getting, for some of you, it's that you hear people say that when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. That's kind of happening for you at the moment, I feel, and that's challenging you a little bit to really ask you to see yourself in a different way, to see yourself a little bit more clearly. And that's why it's challenging you, because it's a challenge to be completely honest with ourselves, and it's a challenge to see our shadow as well as our light. You know, and you know, those stories, that story that we're looking at, of our life, it's not just all the good things. It's not just the glossing over, you know, the basic facts. No, no, it's not just your perspective. It's the whole story. You know, it's the whole truth, the whole story, all sort of playing into things here, and showing you where certain parts of that have come from. It's like, when you're at this point in your life, you can look back and you can kind of see, well, this led to that. You know, the foreshadowing, within things that have happened in the past. Well, that led to this happening. That led to me doing that again, or following that pattern, that kind of thing. So it is quite challenging, to look at oneself with truth, and see yourself for who you truly are, objectively. You know, not feeling guilt over the bad stuff, and not feeling, you know, a high ego over the good stuff, you know, of who you are, but to just simply see oneself. So that does seem to be a bit of a challenge this month, because that awareness is seeping in a little bit this month, and it's trying to move you forward for sure. It is happening for a reason, but that's why it's a challenge, because, you know, as they say, nothing in life worth having is easy, and that's kind of why you're going through this right now, Virgo, is so that we can move on to the next chapter. We can open those doors within ourselves that show us the full truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and we can actually use that to, you know, open new doors, and create new parts of ourselves that have not yet existed, creating new opportunities to lead us to successfully becoming the best person that we want to be. You know, growing, seeing what we are so that we can grow to what we want to be, rather than, you know, allowing our past to hold us and trap us and repeat those same cycles of self, but to actually, you know, walk through a new door, and create new opportunities within ourselves, you know, to grow and change. And, you know, it's kind of like, I'm reading the story of my life, and do you know what? I really don't like where it's up to. So it's time for me to make a plot twist here. This is the plot twist that you're creating for yourself. So it's like, it's that if you don't like the story, change it. You're the writer, you're the author of your own narrative. So this is you sort of going back and reading back through that story that you've written, and going, oh, I don't like where that's going. I'm going to change that. I'm going to put in this key, this failsafe to, you know, change that part of the story, and make it, you know, more aligned with where I want this story to go, and resolve into, as we move forward in life. Okay, so very introspective month for you, but it is challenging just in that, which, yeah. So I definitely feel, Virgo, there might be some stuff coming up for you in this shadow work reading for the full moon. That will be early next week, so definitely keep an eye out for that. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra, what is challenging Libra this month? The challenges Libra is facing this month. What's going on for Libra? Challenging our Libras, please. I'm actually feeling the energy of needing a challenge, Libra, that, you know, things might have been a bit boring lately. It's time for a challenge. I feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of like, yeah, I've just been plodding along. So, you know, I think I might create the challenge myself. We do have the Anuke card coming through for you here. So I do associate this card with Gemini energy as well. So it's kind of like, I feel like for a lot of you, you're bringing out your dark side a little bit this month, and that's a challenge in itself, because you've been so used to being, you know, trying to be the sweet Libra, the version of yourself that is the, you know, the sweetness and the innocence and the good guy, you know, but you may be bringing in the evil twin out to play a little bit this month, to be completely honest, and you kind of need that. I feel that does talk about controlling, drama, conflict of interest. So, you know, that you may be the cause of the drama for yourself this month, but I kind of feel as though For a lot of you, I feel like this is actually a bit of a distraction, to be honest. That's why you're controlling what's kind of scaring you by, creating a conflict of interest to keep you occupied elsewhere, away from thinking about XYZ. So we're not going to worry about XYZ because that's not coming through. We're looking at the conflict of interest here, the challenging energy, the drama that you're creating for yourself this month. Let's have a look here, Libra. The challenge for our Libra this month. What's the challenge for Libra in May? Well, there's a method to the madness, I feel. There is a method to the madness. All right, so it's kind of like, you can't, as you can kind of see in the Anuke card, we've got sun on one side and the darkness on the other, the light and the darkness. So we do need both of those in balance within us. And it's kind of like you've been living in the light for too long, and it's time to, bring a little bit of that shadow Libra out to play a little bit, because, those wishes, those shooting stars can't be seen if it's not dark. We have the wishes card here, the stars. And so I do feel as though this is, in order to examine the light a little bit further, you're needing that to bring forth the darkness a little bit. And so it's an interesting energy, Libra, because it does talk about, your deepest desires, your dreams, and the things that you wish for. But rather than looking at them through I wish for this, I hope for this, I'm optimistic for this, you are looking at them through the lens of, the warrior in a way here. We have the masculine coming through, and the masculine thinks things through very logically and rationally, rather than, most people, when you are thinking about your goals and your dreams and the things that you actually, wish for, sometimes they can seem out of reach because you're wishing, with your heart, whereas the masculine is thinking it through logically with their head and trying to be a little bit more controlling and conniving, I suppose, a little bit here. How do I make that happen in reality? The masculine is much more in reality than the feminine. The feminine is very muchly in, the energy of, oh, I really wish, and I hope and I wish. The masculine is very much like, yeah, but how can I do it? I want to do it. How can I get it? I need to get it and, sell those stars. I need to go and find where the stars are so that I can catch one. So the masculine's a little bit more proactive, I suppose, but very logical, rational, materialistic. And so that's kind of the side of you that's coming out this month, is the materialistic side, when it comes to looking at your wishes and your dreams in a more logical, more materialistic, how do I make this reality? What do I have to do to get this? Because I think that a lot of you are getting to that point where that shadow is coming out to play, and it's saying, what do I need to do to get this? Because I'm willing to do anything. I've been wishing and hoping, and I've done it all with the energy. I've put all my energy into this. I've put all my love into this. Now it's time to play dirty and get it, whether one way or another, even if I have to play a bit rough, But it starts new opportunities for you. It does sort of, don't be afraid to embrace that a little bit this month. It is a little bit challenging for you, I feel, because I feel you, Libra, you're very comfortable in the light, and that I'm just feeling the energy here of, the light versus darkness, that you keep telling yourself that I've got to do it all the right way. I've got to be, I've got to do it the right way, the right way, the right way. But what if the right way is the wrong way? It's bringing to light the message of, spirits and the universe and God and whatnot don't think about good and bad the same way that humans do. They're not bound by morals and laws the way that humans are. And think that this is where you're finding this a bit of a challenge, because you're binding yourself to the laws of human rather than the laws of energy. Okay, because energy doesn't necessarily care about good and bad. There's not necessarily such a thing as good and bad when it comes to energy. So don't allow that to trap you this month. And so that's the challenge, I think, is fighting against that little part of you that wants to be the good guy. You don't always have to be the good guy, Libra. In fact, to open up that little secret compartment within yourself that, unleash the beast a little bit, Libra, and you will find this less challenging, and it will actually create new opportunities that will lead you to the success you're after. I do see that it's kind of challenging you, like, how bad do you want it? If this is what you wish for and what you really, really want, how bad do you want it? That's why it's challenging you so much. It's kind of like you're being tested a little bit here of, well, if you really want it, do you really want it though? How much you're willing to show me that you're willing, that you want it. Interesting. So I'll have to steer clear of Libra this month, yeah? No, jokes. I embrace that shadow energy. I think, part of that shadow energy is it's not about ridding yourself of the shadows. It's about learning how to embrace them and get them working for you instead of against you. That, if you try to hide from the shadows, they will find you. Generally in a worse way than if you take them on board and use them to your own, purposes. Once again, energy is not necessarily good or bad, dark or light. It's a balance of both. Okay, and so that's what you're kind of being challenged with this month. So that's what we have for you. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, Libra, and we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, what is challenging our Scorpios in May? What's the challenge for you in May, Scorpio? Scorpio. Challenge for Scorpio. Do you know what's really weird, Scorpio? Just intuitively here, I'm picking up one of the big challenges for you this month is the light-hearted side of life. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge to be happy. It's a challenge to just be light-hearted and happy. We have the water element coming through. Okay, so that's your element. It's remembering that, emotions are part of who you are. It does say reflection, kindness, and compassion. Part of who you are, the sweetness. I feel like for a lot of you, Scorpio, you get so wrapped, being a water element. I'm going to use water as the example here. You get so wrapped up in being the wave, the tidal storm, the tsunami, the crashing rain and hail, all those sorts of water. You forget that sometimes water it's not a rushing river. It's that calm, steady stream. It's that lake that is still and peaceful. So you may still have a lot going on under the surface, yeah, but there is that calm, that peacefulness to water, that soothing energy to the water. And I feel as though a lot of you are struggling to embrace that, struggling to embrace the niceness and the sweetness and the calmness, the happiness that all this energy can be bringing you, and the sweet side of yourself, kind of very opposite to what I just saw for Libra, to be honest. Reflection, kindness, and compassion. For a lot of you, with that being your element as well, I would say struggling this month to find kindness and compassion for yourself and that calmness for yourself, and to know that it's okay to be calm and happy and kind. Why is that such a challenge, Scorpio? Is it because you're just so comfortable being that crazy, whirlwind of water that what do you call them? I forget the name. Um, whirlpool. That's what I was trying to say. Whirlpool, not whirlwind. Um, you're these crashing waves, and that's how you're used to being. But what happens when you're just that calm, trickling, slow moving creek? You don't need to be the crashing waterfall. What happens when you're the calm swimming pool at the bottom? Oh, that's peaceful and allows things to grow and has kindness to share and grow. Ooh, bit of a challenge this month, Scorpio. You are being asked to embrace the sweetness within yourself a little bit here. Scorpio, what's the challenge for our Scorpios this month? The biggest challenge for Scorpio in May. And it's also reflection upon yourself and the kindness that you have within. The kindness that you have without even recognizing that, and the compassion that you have already without even you're trying to tell yourself, no, I don't. No, I'm a big bad scorpion. I have these pincers and a big stabby tail. Tough exterior. But you're a water element, Scorpio. You are the emotion, the sweetness. Even the most hardened creature has a soft interior. All right, and that's what we're seeing with you this month. Is it's time to actually embrace that sweetness and softness, which I can hear a couple of you raging at me for even assuming that you might have some sweetness and kindness in you. Let down those walls, Scorpio. We have the clouds here, so deep in thought this month about a little bit of in denial, a little bit. It makes you anxious because you're so used to having this tough exterior. It does make you very anxious, and there's that whirlpool of look, it's an actual whirlwind this time, but it's like a whirlpool of emotion of like, I don't know how to deal with being good. I don't. I'm not comfortable with that because I'm not used to that. It makes me anxious. It's freaking me out. It's making my thoughts race, and it's making my heart beat in my. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm being nice. What do I do? I don't know how to do this. It's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, Scorpio. It is a little bit funny here because it's like, normally it's just funny the energy of that I'm getting here with you so muchly trying to fight the niceness within yourself and trying to fight the fact that you are good, okay, whether you believe that or not. There is a lot of goodness within, a lot of sweetness, and and you can show that to yourself as well. And I feel like a lot of you have not been at all. It's your month. I feel like maybe that I am picking up that maybe there's an exercise in this for you, some homework for you this month, Scorpio, of I know it's a struggle. Consciously do something nice for somebody, whether it be just, that the typical help an old lady across the street with her groceries, hold the door open for somebody, random act of kindness, okay? Homework, random act of kindness to somebody. Second part, random act of kindness to yourself. Say something nice to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Okay? I know it's hard and it gives you anxiety just thinking about it. But the getting up in your head about this is and telling yourself these these stories about how I'm not nice. I'm such a bad, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. It's actually confusing you and clouding your judgment more. So you're feeling like, why am I feeling so whirlwind all the time? It's because you're not balancing that out with kindness, all right? And you need the balance of both. It's fine to be mean and, you know, have that tough exterior. That's fine, you know, but it does need to be balanced. And that's kind of what's coming through here. Because you're this little happy ray of sunshine. We have this, well, I was going to say the sunflower. We have the sun here, you know, so change the perspective. Stop thinking so negatively all the time and start thinking happy thoughts. Start singing a happy song. Start thinking happy thoughts. You know, give yourself some warmth and happiness. Allow the sun to shine. Allow the light in, Scorpio. Allow yourself to have a happy moment here and there. Doesn't always have to be, you know, you don't have to be a negative Nancy all the time. Okay, so sorry if this is coming through very like I'm rousing on you, but this is just how the messages are coming through. Okay, that there's a lot of happiness for you, and it's just asking you to start thinking in a little bit more of a positive aspect. You know, thinking happy thoughts, quite literally, thinking happy thoughts. All right, and for some reason it's coming through maybe because I keep saying the word happy, but it is coming through that like, and this is maybe actually a really good recommendation for you, Scorpio, struggling with the happiness. Happy Tree Friends, yeah. If you've not seen Happy Tree Friends, like Google it or whatever, YouTube it and watch it. It's next level. Like it's I think you'll like it, Scorpio. It suits your energy right now. Happy Tree Friends. It's like happiness wrapped up. Well, it's the crazy whirlwind wrapped up in happy vibes. All right, so that kind of might suit you really well to help change your mood a little bit in a weird way, because we have the heart coming through as well. Getting in touch with the happy place in your heart, that there is happiness in there somewhere. It's time to allow it up to the surface, bring it out into the light, and give someone a hug, give someone a kindness. You know, there's your homework. Random act of kindness. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others this month. It's a big challenge. It is tough. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it is really hard to be nice to yourself and nice to others, but you are being asked to face the challenge with a smile this month, Scorpio, as annoying as that might sound for you. Okay, so I feel bad for the way that I've just, you know, that the way the message came out there, but because I'm not being trite or anything like that. It is a serious message. I get it, but you know, it's hard. It is hard. At the same time, I'm trying to be lighthearted with it, and that's what you kind of need to do at the moment, Scorpio, is just try to be lighthearted this month, and that's going to be a bit of a challenge for you to stay lighthearted and to find that lightheartedness and open up to that a little bit more this month. But you know, if you do, you will be surprised at the results. Okay, so that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. And moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What's the challenge that Sagittarius is facing in May? The challenge that Sagittarius is facing in May. Well, we've got two coming out for you. The Pleiadians. Unconditional love, excitement, and laughter, which is covering up. It does feel like it's covering up this Vegans energy. Okay, we have the Vegans there. That is solitude, independence, and peace. All right, so that's the challenge, is to stop covering up yourself, because it's kind of like it's challenging you to embrace the excitement, the laughter, and I'm picking up a very strong social aspect with that one as well. Whereas the Vegans is very solitude, finding peace within oneself, and that's been covering up the fact that you do need to connect a little bit more with laughter and excitement, for connection with others, and to have embrace love in all its forms. Okay, so that's a bit of a challenge for you this month. I do feel as though for some of you, getting out of the house a little bit and interacting just in general may be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll definitely clarify that for you. Sagittarius, the challenge that Sagittarius is facing in May. The challenge for our Sagittarians in May. Pretty much exactly what I've said. It's coming through relatively straightforward here. Firstly, we have the coffin, so it's transforming. Okay, it's a transformation. The coffin really does talk. You can even see here in this one we've got the coffins here, but then we've got the new growth, the trees popping up out of them. So the ending has inspired a new beginning. The death is only just the beginning. That something has ended for you, and I feel like for a lot of you, this has got to do with the friendships. It does feel like friendships. I'm not seeing any friendship cards specifically, but it does feel like friendships. And so, you've been kind of trying to tell yourself that the solitude and the independence and, because it's kind of like the social life as it once existed has ended and come to an end. And you've been kind of holding on to that just in solitude, in trying to tell yourself you're at peace with the way that has been. But the end is, it's time for you to close the door on how things have been before, and realize that energy is now transforming into something different, something that is actually, needing to give in order to receive. Okay, that instead of sitting there by yourself in solitude, that you do need to actually give a little bit more of yourself, give a bit more time, love, energy to others around you, in order to actually receive energy, so it's kind of like a transformative energy where you're realizing that, okay, well, maybe I've been sitting here in this energy of like, oh, these friendships have ended, my social life has ended, but it's actually a new beginning for you to transform the way that you are giving to those relationships, so that you can receive in a different kind of way. Because we do have the mice here, and that's a lot of stress, that the way that things have been in the past with relationships have been probably one-sided for a lot of you, and that's why you've got it kind of stuck to yourself. But it's asking you to, give in to the stress, even though it stresses you out, and you're very, very aware of things that have ended and things that you've lost, and connections that have been lost to the past, and have been taken away from you in a lot of ways here, that have left you sort of sitting there by yourself. It's time to give to excitement of new anyway, and that this could be a new energies for you. The challenge is for you to, it's definitely a struggle here to not allow the past to overtake you. That seems to be the biggest challenge, is that I've been hurt in the past. I've been left by myself. I've been, I've had everything ripped out from under me, and I've been lost to everything, and I've only had myself to I've had to rely on myself. But this is asking you to actually start relying on others a little bit more and find that excitement, and that lightheartedness when it comes to social energy once again. All right, so it's a transformative energy about the way that you're giving to the world, I suppose, because you have been giving a lot of independent energy to the world. A lot of I have to do everything by myself because I've been hurt, because everything has been taken from me in the past. I have had to just give to myself, but now we're seeing that that's the challenge for you this month, is to start opening that up to others and being giving a little bit more time and love and energy, that unconditional love to people, understanding and compassion, and and hoping to receive that, understanding that sometimes you're not going to receive, and that allows you to know, well, that one hasn't transformed, that's not the new energy I'm after, so I'll find something that is. I'll give my time and my energy to the things that do bring me a feeling of excitement and laughter and lightheartedness. The feeling of unconditional love. I'll give more of my energy to those people that make me feel that way, rather than the people that don't. So I just feel as though it's a challenge for you to really work out exactly, where you're putting your energy. Um, a lot of you have been putting it towards the wrong things, or just withholding it altogether. So it's time to start, giving a little bit more this month, and it is a challenge for you. It is coming through as a challenge, okay, Sagittarius? So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and we'll move on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, what is the challenge that Capricorn is facing in May? What's the challenge for our Capricorns in May, please? What is challenging Capricorn in May? Some very interesting messages today. We have the air element coming through here, Capricorn. So as we know, that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So they may be a bit challenging for you this month, but this card does say philosophy, discrimination, and empathy. So I do feel as though for a lot of you, this is you feeling a lack of empathy from others. You feeling as though others are... I actually feel the need to get you a second card as well here, Capricorn. It's that the discrimination seems to be coming through. Like it's coming through as a lot of unfairness. And that's what's challenging you this month, that it's unfair that these people are discriminating against me because XYZ. One more for Capricorn, please. What's the challenges that Capricorn is facing in May, please? It does feel as though you're feeling like left out, discriminated, and that's what's challenging you this month. We have the Merkaba, which that's about movement, long distance travel, and excitement. So it's like, why is everything so far away? Why is everything so boring? Why is everything, not moving? Why am I stuck? Why it's, yeah, the philosophy aspect of that as well. I'm hearing some of you sort of saying, why does the universe hate me? Why is everything I want so far away from me? Why am I stuck? Why am I not getting what I want? Why am I bored? Why am I being discriminated against? Why is there no empathy for me? Capricorn, this is very interesting. I do feel like for some of you it is a little bit this, the challenge is finding excitement for things and finding being able to travel long distances. And I'm not feeling physical long distances. I'm feeling, long distance travel is coming through as a challenge, but it's more like the long distance of time. So patience is messing with you a bit this month, and that's challenging you. Why is everything so far away? Time rather than actual physical distance. Capricorn, what is challenging Capricorn this month? What are the challenges for Capricorn in May? Why can't I have everything I want? This is the stars, Capricorn. This is your wishes, your hopes, your goals. Why are they so far away? Why am I not getting them? Why are my wishes not coming true? Why are my dreams not coming into fruition? It's a challenge to stay hopeful for these things, Capricorn. It's going to be a rough kind of energy for you, Capricorn, not going to lie. So that is your wishes are your challenge, your biggest challenge this month. The things that you wish for, they're your biggest challenge this month, because I feel like, Capricorn, you're just like feeling very conflicted. I'm picking up a lot of conflicted energy here too, because we also have the bear followed by the whip. Okay, so that's the bear there. We also have the whip, which is conflicted energy. Being challenged by the tension and just punishing yourself. Your own defensiveness. It's strength. Your own strength working against you a little bit this month as well. Why is everything so hard? Why do I have to be strong? Why do I have to be so strong? Why are my wishes so far away? I feel like, I kind of feel like the universe is discriminating against me right now. Why does everyone else get what they want? When do I get what I want? Being a little bit on guard. As a form of self-punishment here. And that's your biggest conflict this month, is your own negativity, I feel, for a lot of you, your own impatience and struggle. It's just a big struggle. Like, there's a big struggle energy here, it just feels unfair, and it feels like I've been waiting so long. Why is it so far away? When is it ever going to show up? Why is everything a fight? Why is it always a fight? I'm trying to be strong. It's a challenge to stay strong at the moment, and I am picking up for a lot of you. There may even be the inclination to get into arguments for no reason this month as well, Capricorn. And it's because you're frustrated. You are frustrated at the universe, I think, a lot of you. I just want to get advice, because this feels a lot heavier for you, and a lot than what I've seen for a lot of the other signs, to be honest. Like, it does feel very unfair. And Capricorn, you're in the bear energy as well. You know you deserve these wishes to come true, and that's why it's effing with you. That's why it's messing up with you so much, because you're kind of like, I deserve this. Why? Advice for Capricorn with these challenges in May, please. Rely on your friends. Stay loyal, stay true to the cause. Friendships and social life should be your focus. It'll help you get through this month. This is all within yourself, I feel, for a lot of you. It feels very heavy. I'm not going to lie, Capricorn. So I'm very sorry to hear about this challenge for you this month, Capricorn, but just stay loyal to the cause. Spend time with your friends. Spend time out in public, getting out and about, doing things in, going out, public places, libraries, museums, parks, especially parks. Spend time in nature, Capricorn. Distract yourself with your friends a little bit this month, I feel, for a lot of you. Get yourself out of your own head. It's a bit rough in there this month, okay? So that's what we have for you. I am sorry, Capricorn, and make sure you do subscribe to the channel, but check out your other placements as well. Maybe keep an eye out for the shadow work reading early next week as well, Capricorn. All right, but that's what we have for you. And moving on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, what is challenging Aquarius in May? What is challenging Aquarius in May? The Vesica Pisces, we'll just say Pisces. The Vesica Pisces, divine feminine, birthing, fertility. Struggling to conceive with brand new ideas, struggling to bring them out into the world, struggling with, conceiving of emotion, understanding your own emotions. And I'm not talking about physical conception or birthing here, okay? But obviously those with the divine feminine energies, that's the words that are coming out there. I do feel that this is relevant here as well. The bottom of the deck, we have the Venusians, which is about romance, soulmates, and empathy. So I do feel that for a lot of you that this conception, we are struggling with the conception of romance. When I say conception, I'm talking about the generating ideas about, the new plans, the stoking the flames, starting the fire within yourself, the idea of romance kind of challenging you a little bit this month, and bringing out into the world your empathy and your love. It is a bit of a struggle for you this month. Love in general, it seems to be, but it's more so because it's a struggle for you this month. It's a challenge because of the divine feminine energy in that card there, that you seem to be very stuck in a very logical, rational mindset this month, which is non-emotional, possibly, kind of at war with oneself, so wrapped up in chaotic emotion that emotions connected to love are really a struggle for you right now, because you are just a little bit wrapped up in the negative emotions within oneself and the, the intelligent thought-based emotions rather than actual emotion. You're trying to very stuck in the material world, trying to, get through the mundane day-to-day stuff and dealing with a lot of negative thought patterns, rather than allowing love to have its say at all for you here. Very interesting. I'll clarify that for you. Aquarius. What's Aquarius's challenge in May? What is challenging Aquarius in May? I feel for some of you that it's the conception of romance. It's the idea of romance that I feel like I'm picking up a strong self-punishment kind of energy for you, Aquarius, that a lot of you are kind of saying, oh, it's not worth the trouble. I'm not worth the trouble. So I can't even conceive of love right now. You know, it's kind of, I just can't even think about love right. I can't even fathom the idea that I could be loved right now because I'm so wrapped up in the idea that I can't be loved right now. What's the challenge for Aquarius in May, please? So the challenge here, we have the book coming through first. So, you know, the mystery of what could come next is a challenge to you because what could come next may involve love and soulmate energy and empathy. And you just don't have it in you right now to see where that story could go because you're so busy, you know, flicking backwards through the book going, look at what it's been in the past and this is crap and I don't like it. And I just cannot conceive that the next chapter could be anything other than the same as the previous chapter. So you're kind of looking through your life as feeling as though you are stuck in a cycle of, you know, it's been crap, so it's going to stay crap. But, you know, at the end of the day, you are the author of your own story. And if you don't, you know, you need to believe that that next chapter could be whatever you write it in to be. Especially here with the lily coming through, talking about the longevity here, that the future is a mystery. And that's actually the great thing about it. It is a mystery. You're telling yourself that it's not a mystery, but the book is mystery. So the next chapter is a complete mystery, but you're already you've got these preconceived notions of what it is. But this card is telling us that that's why this is your challenge, to see that it could be conceived as something different. You know, the conception could be, you can't even conceive of anything other than what you've seen in the past. All right. And the lily does tell us that, you know, this month it is going to be a challenge for you to be emotionally vulnerable with yourself, especially with others as well. You know, vulnerability is going to be hard on an emotional level for you this month because you cannot conceive that will lead you into a chapter that you want. It's just kind of like your eyes are closed to potential because you're only seeing what has been already, and what has been already has, you know, hurt and made you think that love is a certain way. So you're not seeing the mystery of the universe that, hang on, there's endless possibilities. It could be a lot of new things that you just cannot conceive of these ideas. You cannot, let alone birth them out into the world, because you just can't even believe that they could even exist, kind of energy here, Aquarius. We also have the fox. So definitely a big challenge for you to, you know, come out of your own little hidey hole this month. You know, come out of your own independent energy, which it's not necessarily independence or selfishness or, you know, doing what you need to do. It's once again, it is your little hidey hole there in trying to be very logical and rational, but you're doing it out of your own survival. There's something within you at the moment, Aquarius, where, you know, you're hunkered down trying to survive. And this is the only way you've known how to survive because of, you know, I do feel this is a heavy love thing. And it's specifically, love has hurt. So you're telling yourself that all love will ever do is hurt. So that's why this is such a challenge for you at the moment, because you are being challenged with the idea that, hang on, but you don't know that. You don't actually know that. You have known that. That's what the past has shown you, yeah. But you do not know for a fact that that's what comes next. Because what comes next is a mystery. It's unknown to you. You don't even know about it. You don't know it could exist the way that it's going to. Because you just cannot fathom it. It's the idea that you cannot conceive of. It's something that you could not even dream of. It to you that does not exist. That's why this is such a big challenge, because you're having to try to believe in something that you do not know that it even exists, and it's got to do with love. All right, so and it's kind of like, because I feel you sitting here saying, I don't even believe that I've got a soulmate. So if you don't believe that you've got a soulmate, how on earth would you ever see them coming in the next chapter? Because you don't even believe they exist. So why on earth would that character be introduced into the story? Because they don't even exist. So that's why it's such a challenge, because you're struggling against yourself. You're so, and that's why it's okay. I feel like it is okay to be this way at the moment, Aquarius, because it's survival. You're doing what you need to do for you right now. And if this is the only way that you know how to be right now, then, it is definitely a challenge for you to see anything that you cannot see, if that makes sense. But the more and more open and vulnerable and honest you are with yourself about the fact that the past is the past. And, well, do you know what? I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. I feel like that's the biggest thing for you this month is to embrace the challenge of the unknown. And do you know what? I don't know what it is, but let's see. I feel like it's just that slight little shift for you there that, well, I have no clue. I cannot conceive of all these potential things that I don't know that if that they even exist or not. But I'm going to try to keep an open mind. I'm just going to wait and see. I feel like that's the biggest shift you can make for yourself to overcome this challenge for yourself this month. Try to be innocent. Try to be playful and fun. Just enjoy the ride. That's the child on the bottom of the deck there. So, I feel like that's the biggest advice I can give you, is to just enjoy the moment and enjoy just take it as it comes. Just try to be very innocent and childlike about, children look at the world like it's an adventure. They don't know how much hurt and pain exists. So it's kind of like needing to come at life from that perspective at the moment, that, when I grow up, I could be an astronaut, I could be the president, I could be, well, mine is I'm going to be the next pope. I did actually have a dream years and years ago that I was going to be asked to be the pope, so I'm waiting. They're trying to pick a new pope right now, and it should be me. It's all right. If only that was a prophetic dream, we'd be all good. But they're going to stick with Catholicism, right? And unfortunately, that's not me. I don't think I would be the sort of pope that they want for their little popey puppet. Sorry, Aquarius, just off on a little tangent there. But you're more than welcome to check your other placements, all right, and subscribe to the channel. And I will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces. What's the biggest challenge Pisces is facing in May? What's the biggest challenge that Pisces is facing in May? Pisces, what's challenging you in May? The Ouroboros. Ooh, eternity, infinity, past lives. Just going to grab another one for you as well, Pisces. Pisces, it's going around in circles, getting stuck in the loop, Why haven't I learnt this lesson yet? Pisces, one more for Pisces, please. What's the challenge for Pisces in May, please? The third eye. So that's manifestation, visions, and meditation. So really being challenged this month on a spiritual level, Pisces, to trust. I am struggling to trust, really struggling to find harmony and peace within oneself this month. Feeling very stuck in a cycle that you don't understand at all, because it's a cycle from a past life, and you're struggling to see how that reveals itself to your current situation. It feels like there's something going on just in your energy rather than in your reality at the moment, Pisces, that is creating challenge for you that you just don't understand. I'm like, some of you might be on the cusp of Aquarius here too, because we did have for some of you, it feels like it's similar to Aquarius, but not for all of you. So it must just be the cuspers, or those of you with strong Aquarius. If that's you, you want to check the Aquarius maybe as well. But Pisces, what's the challenge for Pisces in May, please? What's the challenge for Pisces in May? Because, yeah, it just feels like it's something unknown to you. It's coming through with a straightforward message here, but it's not actually. I'm having a Tyler Tarot moment where I'm going to say to you, Pisces, that I personally am not connecting with this message. I personally do not understand it. And some of you may not understand it either, because this is coming from something outside of this reality of your life. But it's affecting you this month, and it's challenging you this month because you're feeling it. All right? You don't have to understand it or know what it is to feel the energy impacting you, yeah? We have the heart coming through first, followed by the coffin. So the coffin shows us that love has ended in a certain kind of a way, but with the coffin, especially in this deck, we see an ending. You know, the death creates new life. You see the trees popping up through the coffins. So a death of love creates brand new life. It transforms into something completely different. Ending a certain love transforms into a brand new type of love. It's death and rebirth. It's the ending is only the beginning. The Ouroboros, that's exactly what the Ouroboros is. It's infinity. It's eternal. There's no such thing as an ending, because the cycle just turns into when the Ouroboros, when the cycle ends at the tail, it starts again at the head, and it goes around and around. It's eternal. It doesn't stop. So this ending, it's not stopping. It's just transforming from a tail into a head, or a head into a tail. It's a transformation. The love that has ended, the death of love, the death of the ending of, it's just not wording itself correctly for me. It's like a piece of your heart, a piece of your heart closes off, but it doesn't complete, like it. When one door closes and another door opens, that's what's happening, right? That's the transformation, is because the next card I have is the door, the key. I said the door, the key that opens the door, that unlocks the door. So, when one door closes, it transforms into a new door. So when one door closes, a new door opens. So the door that is closing is a piece of your heart is closing or has closed. You've closed off to a piece of your heart. But that has actually allowed another door, another piece of your heart to open. So it's kind of transformed the way that you love, the understanding of love within you, your heart in its entirety. Because if that part is now closed off and this part is now open, that's a brand new version of your heart space. But you are really struggling to see exactly what's going on here because of that third eye card. Maybe that's why I'm struggling to catch it as well, because you're struggling with your vision of what this could actually be, because you're struggling with the vision of what's closed, what's ended. That's what you're seeing. That's why you're struggling with your vision, because you're only seeing what's ended. You're not seeing that is actually opening something else. And the something else it turns into a brand new opportunity for successful love, success with love, successful manifestation of love, just in a different kind of a way than known to you in this life or the last. So I feel like what's happened here, Pisces, is you've closed a cycle that you have been stuck in from past lives. You've recreated this cycle in a new kind of way. Like you broke that past cycle, turned it into a new cycle for yourself that you haven't experienced before in any life. So it's like you've healed some past life trauma of some sort and closed that down, closed out that part of your heart that had been holding on to love in that manner. But you're just not seeing very clearly as of yet what that is turning into. I feel like for a lot of you, you're just not able to see that new door opening at all. That new energy, you're focusing so much on the past cycle that you've broken away from, that you've closed off to. You're allowing yourself to think that you're still trapped in that broken piece of your heart, rather than seeing this other part of your heart that is now full and open. So that's why this is a challenge for you this month, because you're just a little bit stuck in the brokenness of past. And it's something that you don't even understand. I feel like this is all happening on a subconscious level for a lot of you, that you may not even consciously be aware of this. This is all, especially with such spiritual energy cards coming through. I do feel as though this is all going on in your subconscious, and this is why, I feel like for a lot of you, you're not even realizing that this is challenging you this month, but it is, cellular kind of level. And you I just feel like a lot of you are going to be having this feeling this month of just being like, something, ugh, what is it? I don't know. Ugh, why do I feel weird? I don't know. Why do I feel like worried? I don't know. I feel like that might be a common theme for you this month, of feelings and emotions that arise within you that you just are like, where did that come from? Why do I feel that way when I just don't? What? like nothing's happening, and all of a sudden I feel sad. I feel like you're processing this subconsciously, and that's why it's a challenge for you, because it's not a conscious thing. It's just leaving you feeling very like lost and confused, and because you cannot see what's going on, you've got no vision of this. That I feel like it's kind of making this. That's why it's a challenge, because it's making this month a bit of a blur to you. Like you just get going through the motions a little bit this month. Um, Maybe you want to check out your other placements as well, Pisces. Subscribe to the channel, and thank you all for being here. And make sure you do check out the Divine Feminine Energy reading in a couple of days for Mother's Day here in Australia, and also the Full Moon Shadow Work early next week. All right, so I'll see you all for those.